So, yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Mr. Udesh Vaidya. So, firstly, I would like to congratulate for completing your week 1 internship. And I will love to uh, come over here for the week 2 YouTube live session, in which we are going to covering some web security topics, uh, which are IDOR and SQL injection. Okay. So I will just share my screen. So just imagine you log in into your online bank account and simply changing a number in the URL, you can see someone else's account details. Sounds crazy, right? This is a real security issue called Insecure Direct Object Reference or IDOR. So welcome everyone once again. Today we will talk about one of the most overlooked yet dangerous web security vulnerabilities, IDOR. We will cover what IDOR is and how it works, a real world example, and we'll see how to prevent IDOR attacks as well. So generally, what is IDOR? When someone asks, what is IDOR? So IDOR occurs when a specific website fails to restrict access to objects like user accounts, documents, or any transactions as well. Attackers mostly modify the input parameters like user IDs to access other users' data without authentication. So let's take a real world example. Like, let's say there's a banking website called xyzbank.com. Okay. Let's say there are total 3 users. User 1, who is Alice. Let's say user 2 is Bob. User 3 is, let's say, Charlie. Okay. So let's say that Alice has logged into his account. Okay. And he's seeing this URL. Let's say this is the domain name. Let's say xyzbank.com. So after logging into the application, after logging into the bank application, Alice is able to see something like this, like let's say https://xyzbank.com/account and user ID is equal to, let's say, 1. Okay. Now, when we log in into Bob's account, we will see something like this. We will see the URL like this. 2 and for Charlie, it will be the 3. So what exactly happened over here? So let's say there's also one more user, which is, let's say it's me, user 4, which is Uddesh. Let's say I'm an attacker. Now, I was able to identify that there is some kind of vulnerability in this application. So let's say that my user ID is 4. Now, in once I log in into the bank application, I can see so many things where I can send money to anyone, okay, receive some money, then view the transactions and more things. Okay. Now, let's say that I have logged into my application. Now, luckily, I just changed the ID parameter from 4 to 1 and hit enter. Without entering the proper credentials for Alice, I was able to log in into the Alice account, right? So now, once I log in into his or her account, I can send money to me, right? Or receive or see the latest transactions which has been happen over there, right? Now, this sounds very uh, critical, right? It's very dangerous. So, okay. So let's how we can prevent this kind of attack. So we can how to prevent it? We can implement a specific let's say proper access control, then use non-guessable identifiers, enforce role-based access control, which is also known as RBAC. So just let us see the following specific easy vulnerability over here. Just a second. Okay. Just give me a second. Just stop sharing my screen for a second. Okay. So I'll just share my screen 1 second. Okay, I hope it's visible. So we will just see a POC where I was able to find an IDOR on a specific application. So for me, there were two usernames were given, which is VS001. If you can see, there's user Rajesh. His username is VS001. And there is another user called Uddesh. His username is VS006. Okay, now let's proceed. So let's log in with Rajesh account, which is VS001. Once we log in into the application, you can see There's a specific UI over here. There are total visitors, meeting rooms, and many more. You can also see the visitor request. There's some graph over here, one bar, and over here, month-wise, there are total 4 bars over here. Okay, let's move ahead. Now, let's log in with the Uddish account. Okay, so we will just go on Burbsuit, enter the username and the password, and hit enter. Let's verify you can also see over here the profile photo is of Uddish, right? And if you go back into this part, you can see there's Rajesh profile photo over here, right? Now what we did, we just logged out into from the account, and I was once again logging into the VS Uddish account. But before submitting the request, I turned my intercept on and submitted the request. And then you can see over here, there's username 006 and the password has been given over here, right? Now let's forward this request and capture its response. Once I was able to successfully capture the response, I changed the username from 006 to 001 and forwarded the request and turned the intercept off. If you can see over here that now the profile photo is not of Uddish, but instead of it's Rajesh. And also over here, you can see the specific bar over here. In Uddish UI, there was no single bar, but over here we can see a bar which is confirming that we have logged in into the Rajesh account. So this was a very critical type of vulnerability, which is IDOR. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. Now moving forward to the second part, which is SQLI, okay, also known as SQL injection. Okay. So before moving to the SQL injection, we generally what exactly SQL is. Okay. So SQL stands for Structure Query Language. Okay. So generally, the struct SQL is used on for like databases for storing some data in the specific database. Okay. Now, what exactly database is? Let's see. So a database is a structured collection of data that is stored electronic. It can be used to store or manage a large amount of data, right? Like your username, your password, your account number, your anything. It is stored in a proper manner. Okay. This is also known as relational database, which is stores data in tables and data connected by a specific unique ID. So let's say when we submit a specific form, let's say there's a name field, let's say your email, your mobile number, right? So when it gets stored, each and every time a specific ID is been assigned while storing the following data into the database. Okay, means it will store in like this format: ID, the name, then email, and then number. Let's assume that we don't, let's say, have email and number field over here. Let's say its first name, then last name, or maybe let's say father's name. Okay. Now, each and every time, let's say it can be happen that uh, same person can have a different type of, different persons can have a same name like Rajesh or Rohit. Okay. So it can be a difficult task to identify this kind of data in the database. So what happens generally when the specific data has been stored, it is stored in a specific matter where when a specific post request is been sent to the server, an ID has been created for a unique ID for a specific data. Let's say if I have stored this first name, last name, then it will be ID is equal to 1, first name will be, let's say, Udesh, and the last name will be Vaidya, father's name, let's say XYZ. Okay. So this is how the data will be stored. So once it is stored, it is the I will get a specific unique ID from which my data will be called. Okay. Now, when I will submit another data, it will be stored ID is equal to 2, right? Because the ID 1 has been used. Now, it will assign a specific unique ID for this entire form. Okay. So what is SQL? SQL is a structured query languages which let you access and manipulate the data and sorry, yeah, manipulate the database. SQL becomes a standard of the American national standards. Okay, what SQL can do? So SQL can execute a queries against a database, retrieve a data from database, insert the records, update the records, delete a specific records. It can create new databases, new tables, new stored procedures in a database, and many more. Okay. Now coming back to SQL injection. So when we come to SQL injection, what exactly happened over here? Okay. So let's see what SQL injection is. So SQL injection is an attack where, let's say, an attacker injects a specific checks uh, malicious code, malicious SQL code into a website input fields. So whenever we say about SQL injection, it can be only found in a specific input parameters where the data has been stored or retrieved by using get or post method. Okay. So this manipulates the data. Okay. So let's say if the SQL injection attack is been there, then it can manipulate the database to extract or modify the information, right? Now let's say that we have a login form, okay, where you have a username field and let's say a password field. Now, generally, what it is checking when you enter your login credentials over here, right? Then it will verify that if in a specific database, if there is a username called, let's say, John, and the password, let's say it's password 123. Okay. So once you enter this following, uh, when you click on the submit button, what exactly query, SQL query goes in the backend? So this is how it looks in the following code. So it will say that select star from a specific database, or let's say users, where username is equal to, let's say, John, and the password is is equal to, let's say, password 123. Okay. Now, once if this statement verifies, okay, and then it will check, oh yeah, we have a username called John, and the password for John is password 123. Yeah, it is correct. So you can log into the application, right? Now, what if I tell that even if I don't know the username and the password for the following, let's say, user, and I can still log in into a specific admin panel, maybe, right? Sounds crazy, right? So what exactly will happen over here? So I will just enter a specific payload over here saying a single quote, or then I will single quote one, then is equal to, let's say, single quote one, and then dash dash. Now hyphen hyphen. Okay. Now what this hyphen hyphen means? It means comment out whatever query is standing, is if it is front of it. Okay. So this is the a malicious code of an attacker. Malicious SQL code or a statement. Okay. So if you can see, I'm sorry. So since, like, let's say single quote one is equal to single quote one is always true, right? So you should know about the true and false logic over here for understanding this. Okay. So after entering this kind of true and false logic, if one is equal to one, that means true. The attacker can logs in as any user, okay, any user without knowing the password, right? Sounds crazy, right? Let's see these in a practical manner, okay? So we do have a specific uh, web application for that, which is testphp.wellandweb.com. Okay, just a second. So if you can see over here, the default credentials is test and test for it. Okay. So let's say the username is test and test. Okay. And once I hit login, I'm getting, okay, I'm able to log in into the application. Now let's just log out once again. Okay. Yeah, log out test, sign up. And now what I will do, I will just enter any wrong credentials. Let's say admin, admin, and hit Okay, I'm not able to log in into the application. No worries. Let's craft a payload saying, let's say admin is single quote. Okay, then or is equal to single quote one is equal to single quote one, and let's say comment. Okay, hyphen hyphen. Let's take this and enter it over here. And let's see over here. Let's first and login. Okay, we had an error. MySQL. Okay, no, there's some issue with this application. Mm. We do have a one more Altera Mutual application, which is also vulnerable for this SQL injection. Well, let's go over here. So for the default credentials is admin. Okay, I will just verify. You can see that I got logged in the application. Let's just sign out once. Okay, let's sign in once again. Let's enter any wrong credentials. Okay, it is saying that login failed. We are sorry, but this username or password was not found in our system. Please try again later. Okay, so no problem. We will just enter a specific payload. Let's say username. Okay, and just click login. You can see that without entering proper credentials, I was able to log in into the application, right? It's very dangerous. Even it is not verifying, right? If I'm the proper user or not. Okay. So we have one more like, okay. So I'll just, there's also blind SQL where we can send a specific database to sleep for 1 or 2 seconds. Okay. So let me just go to the another page once again. So you can also come over here, do this specific practice as this entire application is made vulnerable for practice purpose. Okay. So you can check this out, the test.php okay, and altrotestfire.net. Okay. Now let's move ahead. We will see some SQL injection payloads. So SQL-like payloads. So there's a GitHub page, okay, where you can see a specific payload list over here. So let's say I want to see the time-based SQL, which is also known as blind SQL. So I'll just go over there. Mm. So let's copy this payload and come back to this user info. Let's just enter this data and click update. There's some issue with this page. This. Mm. Let's try to identify if this following application or this feedback form is vulnerable for SQL injection or not. Okay, so let's say admin@gmail.com. subject, let's say we will enter the payload first over here. Okay. And let's say NA. And let's submit the form. Fine. Okay. It got submitted quickly. Let's the payload over here. So one more. Like this. Okay, we'll just see a specific POC. Okay, so this is a specific POC where you can see that the user is entering a payload where it is saying that please sleep for 8 seconds. Okay, and it's just entering the payload. It's okay. Mm, We'll just give a quick demonstration what exactly will happen with this payload. Okay, let's say there's a specific contact page field, okay, where you can go and enter this specific payload. Now, what exactly this is happening? So we are trying to balance this firstly payload, okay, by entering a single code. As you know that when we enter a specific query, a query is entered in a single quote manner, okay. You can see over here that when we enter a specific data, it is enter in a single quote. So what we will do, we will just enter one more point over here, which will balance our payload, okay, single quote, and then or, okay, which will say that if or is equal to slip 5 seconds, and then hash is equal to comment, okay. Let's just use this one once again. Let's see if it works. So generally there are some issues with that application. So we are not able to, you can see that it is giving some kind of error in the MySQL, right? So let's go back. Okay. So once we enter a specific, let's say slip for 5 seconds, and we click on submit button, what will happen? Once when the data will be went to the store, the database will go to sleep for 5 seconds. Okay. Now, let's say that I change this 5 seconds from, let's say, maybe something a huge or larger number, let's say 10,000. Okay. Now, once I enter this, the entire database will go for slip for around 10,000 seconds, right? So it is very dangerous, right? Uh, what will happen over here? If, let's say, another user is trying to log in into the application, but he won't be able to log in into the application. Why? Because the entire website uh, is slept for, like, so you can see 10,000 seconds, which almost 166 minutes, right? So like more than an hour. So it's very dangerous. So how we can prevent this SQL injection? So we can generally, if you see that it is a kind of injection attack. So we can keep a proper, uh, let's say, parameterized queries. Parameterize. Then we can sanitize the user inputs with, let's say, special characters where, let's say, user can use hash or maybe hyphen hyphen or any specific query or any special character. Okay. Then we can limit the database privileges. So we can also limit the data privileges of a specific database. Okay, where a specific database will be having a very low privileges for executing anything. So this is the like most like dangerous attack, SQL injection, as you can also dump the entire database, right? So generally, by using this kind of attack, you can get into the server's database, get user details, their phone number, their contact number, the address, and many more things. Okay, so yeah, that's for today's week 2, and I believe everyone is uh, able to understand this. So I will just go to the YouTube channel once again. I will see if anyone have any which queries. Okay, so just give me a minute. Okay, so we can, if anyone have any doubt, they can just enter in the chat box. Yeah, so there's a question, are there no Hacktify labs? The labs will be live in after the session gets ended. Okay, how to prevent SQL injection? Yeah, so we can prevent the SQL injection by uh, specific, like, parameterized queries or sanitizing the user inputs. Okay, and we can also limit the specific database privileges. Uh, any more questions? Is the SQL database stored password in with some encryption plain or in plain text? Generally, the it is a good technique to store the password or in a encryption matter, so it won't get leaked anywhere. Okay, it's a very good habit, I will say, or a good practice. Uh, any more questions? Please, if you have any doubts, please tell in the chat. How about those who have not submitted last week assignment? So the last week assignment can be uploaded till 19, as many users were able to not log in into the labs properly. So they can, we have extended the dates till 19. What is the last date of assignment? The last date of the assignment is 19.
All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Uddesh, who is currently moderating the current internship. Thank you so much for that insightful session. Of course, I'm very, very sure that all the participants, those who have undergone the session today, would definitely love the session. So this week's agenda was discussing about two specific, very important vulnerabilities that are usually identified in the wild on pen tests and majorly on bug bounty programs are IDOR and SQL injection. Both of the vulnerabilities of high to critical severity as per the CVSS rating. So my humble request to all participants that they keep more attention for this given week, because these are the two class of vulnerabilities which are very important for you to understand. And the approach should be that these vulnerabilities are always found, rather I would say not miss, on any given targets or targeted applications. In addition to that, I am very sure that participants would have undergone the week 1 for the program and have enjoyed the week 1. I was, of course, monitoring all the insights that I was getting from the team as well as on the Discord. In addition to which, I have also seen the social media handles, which is LinkedIn and Twitter, are people posting about their achievements. Achievements in the form of completion of lab reports, and lab reports very professional, very clear, concise, and to a level that industry expects, which was very, very good to see. In addition to which, I was very happy and humbled to see participants posting about their achievements that they have done for week 1 by posting the certificate of completion, and successfully progressing towards week 2. This shows your dedication that you have shown and undergone the tasks that were assigned to you during week 1 successfully. My heartiest congratulations to all of the participants who are moving forward to week 2 in the given internship cohort. You are the ones who have successfully made it through week 2. They're from all the participants who could not successfully move forward and would have been dropped. In addition to that, I would also like to tell participants about networking opportunities that they can have amongst their colleagues and peers. Please utilize the LinkedIn platform to tag each other for your progress that you make, which shows your commitment towards upskilling yourself. And as I've already expressed once, and I would also like to express it again, recruiters always keep an eye on potential candidates who are progressing into their career through LinkedIn. Make sure that you utilize the given platform to its best so that your profile gets highlighted among all the recruiters and you land up a very good role or into a very good organization. I would not like to take much of your time, participants. And at the end, I would like to wish all of you best of luck for week 2 of this cohort. And I would also expect most of the participants to move forward successfully in week 3. In addition to that, there was a question for the labs. I've just got an update from the team that the IDOR and SQLI labs are live now on your platform. So you can go there, log in into your lab platform and start solving, interacting onto those labs. With this, I would also like to thank, lastly, the entire team at Hacktify, which is in the backend, who is always working continuously to make sure that everything is going smoothly for the given cohort. It is only possible with the help of a lot of efforts that we usually don't see from the front, but a lot of people working together to make sure that we are successful. With this, I would like to wind up the session over here and would love to meet all of you again in week 3. Till then, all the best once again, everyone, and take care. Thank you.